This is May 14th, 2003. We are at Mr. Grenier's house. I'm interviewing Raphael Grenier. He was born on May 19th, 1925, and lives at 520 West Nelson Street, apartment 406. I am Sean Willman. So what war were you in?
Don't take that. Stop that.
Okay, so what war and branch of service were you in?
Vietnam War, Army, U.S. Army,
Okay, what was your rank?
Captain.
And what places did you serve?
During the war, or in my service.
Just during the war.
During the war, the Vietnam War.
Okay. Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was appointed by the president and volunteer for Vietnam.
Okay. Why did you decide to join the Army? Or why were you appointed?
I was appointed because of the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Okay, so you lived in Cuba before you came to America, right? That's where you were
Right.
born? So why did you decide to leave Cuba?
Because of the government over there, Fidel Castro, lefty government, communist government.
So where did you go out? Did you go from Cuba to America and then join the Army?
No, I took a passport, which was not a legal one. I went to Mexico, and from Mexico, I flew from Mexico to Miami, Florida.
And so how did you decide to join the Army? How did you serve in the Army before you came to America?
Yeah, I was a captain in the Cuban Army too.
Oh, okay. So where did you live when you joined the Army? In Miami?
In Miami, Florida.
Okay.
I still remember the address.
So
444 Northeast 82nd Street.
really?
Miami.
Miami. So how long did you live there for?
A few months only, because from there we were interviewed by the U.S. government, and we went to a Hurricane, where there was the induction center over there, and we got a board, and they decided which one of the members of the brigade can be an officer in the United States Army.
So what did you do at the Bay of Pigs that they decided that they were going to appoint you a captain in the Army?
Well, the Bay of Pigs was part of the Kennedy administration, and after the fiasco in the Bay of Pigs, we were in prison over there for 20 months. After 20 months, the President Kennedy and the administration at that time exchanged us, and we were liberated and free, and come to the United States, to Miami, in the Pan American Airlines.
Huh.
The pilots and the crew, they were no Pan American. They were CIA members.
Really? So how long did you serve in the Army in Cuba?
About over 11, let me see, 1945. Well, the whole thing with the timing, the double timing service, about 14 years.
Wow. So what happened right after you joined the Army? Where did you go?
Fort Benning, Georgia.
And then you started.
Second lieutenant.
Okay. So did you agree with the reasons for the war in Vietnam?
Yes.
You did? What were some of those reasons that they decided to go to war?
Well, number one is that the Vietnam, they were attacked by some forces, liberation forces, which were really, they were supported by the North Vietnam, and that's what it was clear. And China, all the weapons the Viet Cong has at that time, they were weapons from China, to some even from Russia, but most of them from China. And that's what we went over there to support that. Besides that, it was the U.S. government got they call the Seattle SEATO trade organization that the government was involved with that treatment, get responsibility because of that treatment on Vietnam.
Hmm. So, did did where did you go when not just during the war, but while you were serving in the army? Where did you go to? Which places did you serve?
Fort Benning, Georgia, over there in the old BC course. From there to Lackland Air Force Base was a language school. Then I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, the artillery school. From there, I come back to Fort Dix, New Jersey, the Army Training Center over there. I served 2 years over there as first as platoon leader, then as a company commander. From there, I went to Hawaii. In Hawaii, we training with the 11 Air Assault Brigade. And then they changed that to the Jungle Warrior, 11 Brigade, the Jungle Warrior. And we were sent to Vietnam. Anybody who, if I wanted, wouldn't extend myself over there. Still, I was not a U.S. citizen at that time. I was a captain in the Army, I was not a U.S. citizen.
So when did you become a U.S. citizen then?
In Hawaii, because if I don't become a U.S. citizen at that time, my battalion commander told me I couldn't go to Vietnam. Then I become a U.S. citizen.
Really?
In a short time. The day I became a U.S. citizen was the November the 9th, 1967. About 20 days before I went to Vietnam.
Really? So you had to learn English then when you came over, or did you already know it?
I know some English before.
Okay. So when you traveled around to all these places, did your family go with you?
Most of them.
Most-
Except Vietnam.
Except Vietnam, right?
From Vietnam, I went to the Fort Benning back again for the advanced course, infantry officer advanced course. From there, I went to Panama for the School of the American. And from the School of the American, I went to serve in Korea, South Korea, with the 2nd Infantry Division in the 1st Brigade. But that's the only tour that was not accompanied with my family was Vietnam and my last assignment in South Korea. The
So-
rest of my family went with me all the time.
So like were all the different forts you went to, and even when you traveled to, like when you traveled abroad to other countries, was the culture a lot different than it was here? Was it like hard to
No,
adapt?
the American influence is all over. Even in Korea, you find that you can adjust easily over there, but it's almost the same.
Really?
Except the food.
So you saw combat when you were in Vietnam, right?
Yes, I saw
Did your unit sustain a lot of casualties, or?
that. No. Fortunately, not too many.
Oh, okay, that's good. So, were there any like really memorable things that happened, or things that just really stick out to you during your time of combat?
One of the things that stick to me is he was a first lieutenant with me, and then he became a captain, and they gave him a rifle company. He went to, like any company commander, to the field, and I know him for a long time. I know his family, his daughters, two beautiful grown daughters like that. And he was killed
During combat?
in combat. He was a good man, very good. He was a good lieutenant, he was a good captain. He also was, before that, he was in the Dominican Republic. When the crisis in the Dominican Republic, and he went over there, the CIB, Company Infantry Barracks. Still, he went to Vietnam to get some.
So is he a pretty good friend then?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like make a lot of friends when you were in the army? And
Oh, yes, a lot of fun.
Do you still like keep in contact with some of those
Some of them.
today? Some of
Some
them.
of them, some of them they died already.
Really?
I got some friends even in Indiana over here.
Really? So,
You know, when you went in there, you become a veteran. The word it's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood.
yeah, my grandpa served in World War II, and he still remembers a lot of his people.
I
Where
got, I got a friend he's from World War II, which I email with him a lot. This is our contact, the computer.
yeah.
Many of them, they are legally blind now too. They are vision impaired.
So, did you sustain any injuries when you were in combat? No. Other than your blindness, but that was just a disease.
That was not not a result of the combat.
No.
No,
So how you don't know how you became blind, or?
no, nobody knows. The doctors don't know.
Hmm.
Everybody knows was something that produced that, and that's it. And I get that when you was in the service. When you are in the service, if you get any disease that disables you, it by regulation it becomes a service connect because you get that during the service time.
So then your blindness isn't service connected? Oh, it is service connected.
It is.
Oh, okay. So did you receive any like medals or citations?
Bronze, bronze star and 3 Army Commendation Medal and the other service medal.
What do you get those medals for? Like, what did you?
This is for Vietnam.
Just for serving?
Yeah, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Bronze star in Vietnam, meritorious service. Then I got 3 Army Commendation Medal for meritorious service. One for Fort Dix, because as a unit commander I get, I believe, about 9 or 10 commanding general award. 10 was commanding general superiors award, the highest for unit commander over there. Got a 9 or 10, I don't remember exactly how many. Around 9 or 10, something like that. Then I get another Army Commendation Medal for my service in the School of the American, Panama. Then I get another Army Commendation Medal when I was servicing in Korea, because I was headquarter company commander in Korea, and the general saw I do a fine job and beyond the regular duty, and he awarded me the Army Commendation Medal. And then the other medal, like a national defense, because you are in active duty during the war. Then meritorious service, a meritorious expeditionary service medal in Korea, because I was in Korea.
Did you serve in Korea before or after
No.
Vietnam?
After Vietnam.
After Vietnam?
I didn't serve in Korea during the war. No.
No, not during.
No.
Well, right.
No. Just peacetime, just peacekeeping force.
Oh yeah.
Then the Vietnam Service Medal with 1 star, silver star. That means 5 campaign in Vietnam, 5 campaign. Vietnam Campaign Medal and Reserve Medal, National Reserve Medal, because I was 10 years a reserve officer.
Really?
10 years a United States Army Reserve officer. You got to be an officer for 10 years to get that medal.
Wow, 10 years. So how long total did you serve with the United States Army then?
11, 12 years, something like that.
Really? So when you were during combat, did you ever receive mail or anything from your family?
Well, oh yeah, my wife and my son. Huh?
So how many kids did you have then?
Only one.
Just Mr.
Just
Green?
Ralph.
Just Ralph. So do you think that all of your service in the Army really affected your family at all?
No.
You don't think so? Do you think they would have been different at all if you wouldn't have served, or do you think they were better off?
My son, sometimes we were 2 years in one place. We get 2 year high. Let me see how he made the highest school. he made junior high school in Lailehua
In Hawaii?
in Hawaii. Lailehua Junior High School. He started over there at the ROTC. Then from there, he went to from Hawaii. No, he went to Pemberton. He was over there in New Jersey. He stayed about 8 months over there. From there, he went to Fort Benning, Georgia, Baker High School. From Baker High School, he went to Coco Solo High School in Panama. That's where he graduated from high school, in Coco Solo, Panama.
Really?
Then he attended the first 2 years in college, in the Canal Zone College. He earned who is who, and you know, that award they give it for the good student.
Yeah.
He got that over there. From there he went to Eastern Kentucky University.
And that's where he finished up?
And finished up over there, and then he went to Purdue with something more. And from Eastern Kentucky University, he was commissioned second lieutenant, regular army.
Really?
He went to Fort Benning. Then to Fort Benning, he went to Panama. He made first lieutenant. He decided that's the end. And then he went to Purdue. From Purdue, Marion, Indiana.
So he's been in Marion for a while then, huh?
Oh, 20 years, I believe so.
Really? That's pretty neat.
Mhm.
So, when you were on the battlefield, were conditions pretty bad?
No, you get used to that.
Did they really?
Yeah, you get used to that. You know, you get used to that because life is more important than anything. And you know your life depends in your ability to fight. If you don't fight, you're dead.
So you forget about all the things that you
You
had at
forget
home.
about all the other things around. Nothing that's around you except you and your buddy. Your next guy over there. If he get hurt, you jump, and you get irritated and angry. You get mad. You get mad.
Mm.
You become a really, I got worse than Rambo. Yeah.
So, did you have any trouble? Were there shortages of anything? Do you remember that?
No. The armies were supplied all the time. You never got even in the worst condition over there, you get a hot meal at noontime.
Really?
Yeah. You don't believe that. We got turkey in the field.
Really?
No, the U.S. Army is nobody can compare this or anything.
Yep.
That's when you see these movies. Iraq was like that because that's the U.S. Army. Yeah. Everybody can go over there when they get in. The other team already.
Mm. So, did you have, when you were in Vietnam, did you have any free time, or were you in combat the whole time? Was there any time that...
Oh, no, you don't spend full time in the field. No. You spend some time in the rear, some time in the field, some time in this, participating with the staff on the unit. If you're an officer, you're enlisted men, they rotate you. And you got a relax behind the base camp.
Hmm. So what kind of stuff, what kind of things did you do when you were not in combat?
Clean the rifle, get more training, and drink beer. And barbecue shop, barbecue pork and hamburger, hot dogs, stuff like that.
Really?
We improvise. We improvise.
So did you enjoy your time of service?
Yeah, I miss that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Because over there, everything is got to be right there on the spot. Everything got to be clock. We are a living clock in the service. You know you got to wake at this time, do this, do that, every single time. When you walk in civilian life, the whole scene is so different. Nobody cares, nobody that, and over there, and when you're in the service, nobody bitch about anything. Everybody wants to do his job. That's it. When you run in the service, you only hear, "Oh my God, I didn't get this, I didn't get the other thing. Oh, I supposed to got this, I deserve that." In the service, no. You don't do that.
They just do their job.
You do your job, accomplish your mission, and do your best.
That's pretty neat.
Hmm.
So do you think the service affected your life a lot?
No,
No?
no. Yeah, made me more better man. That's right, no question about that.
Really?
Even my son, who was just only down to first lieutenant, you can see him.
Yeah.
He's everything is time for him. Nothing. See, that discipline. That's a kid, discipline.
Really? So, was there anything that you can tell me about your combat at all? Or like you said,
No, in combat it's all the same. It's not as they put in the movie. I laugh when I see that.
Really?
It's different completely. You know, it's more human, and when you are in combat, that they put it over there. We don't have that angry face when we are in combat. We mean maybe you got a fear, scared. Yeah, that yes. Everybody got that. But you keep going, and you know this. If you cannot drop the guard, you drop the guard, you're dead. You got to fight.
so was it like you said when you said that everybody has fear? Was it kind of scary because there was a lot of like guerrilla warfare going on?
No, they fear because you don't want to die.
Right.
Whoever, most of the people in Vietnam, they were young people, young guys. They got a sweetheart over here. They got a fiancé, a girlfriend, stuff like that. They missing that. Who gonna? They want to get that back. No question about that. Yeah.
So did you like you said, you developed a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships with
With the army, yes.
with other officers and other servicemen.
Yeah.
So you got along pretty well with everybody.
Everybody get along. There's no section at all. Everybody in the service get along. You know one better than the other one. And everybody help each other. That's what the army is.
So when did your service end?
Wait,
When?
when I started,
When did it end?
I believe it was on the 1st of September 1973.
And so you came back from Vietnam, and then what did you do? Like after you came back from Vietnam and Korea, then did you just go back to Fort Benning, or?
From Vietnam, yes, I went back to Fort Benning, Georgia.
So
To the office advance course.
so why did you decide to leave the service?
No, I didn't decide it then. President Richard Nixon, for reason at that time, there was no war, they got to cut down the reserve. Active reserve, they got to reduce that force. And the war is over, you got to cut the force. You cannot keep it 2 million men in the army if you don't need it at all. You can use that force in the civilian life, for production, for everything. That's when they call it reduction in force, and they cut the people. They said, okay, so many captains are going to be dismissed, so many mayors, so many this, so many soldiers be in charge, and everything. That is it. At the end of every war, it's happened the same way. It happened after World War II, it happened after Korea, it happened after Vietnam. Now, no, because it's a volunteer force. It's a minimum amount of force now. You know, it's a reduction. It's right there. It's a volunteer is different. If now the people in active duty, you got the National Guard, reserve unit. When they come back again to the United States, they go civilian life. Same thing as before.
So go ahead.
But before we were active duty. And now they are not in active duty, they are temporary duty for the Pacific mission.
So where did you go after you
Miami.
were discharged? You went back to Miami, and then
Yeah.
did you live there for quite a while?
for 25 years after that,
When did you move to marry?
when my wife died.
And so you moved up here to be with Mr. Grenier?
Close
your
to my
son?
son. Not with my son, close to my
Close,
son.
close to.
I like to be independent.
Yeah. Is that what did the Army teach you independence?
Yeah. The Army teach you independence. Independent thinking, but a block with the rest of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to make you a robot in the Army. No. That is, the Army want you to really think what you're doing, your mission. You know, they really want you to be right there, in the heart of that. They don't want you to be there. That's in the old time. Forward, march. No, that's not. You know the close drill? You know what they do, the close drill? To start discipline on the people. Obedience, you know?
Right.
But that's only that. But not to make you a robot.
So do you think the Army's changed a lot from when you were in it to
No,
where it
no.
is now?
The heart of the Army is the same thing. The same thing. The only hand change is the technology. We are more technical now than we were in my time.
So what did you do? You said you moved back to Miami and lived there. What did you do when you were in Miami? Did you?
Well, I became a manager of a store.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that time was not too many jobs around. And then I started making good over there, and then I decided to stay. But at the beginning, it was temporary job.
Right.
But I got a nice place, and then they moved me, the company, Southern Corporation, they moved to different area. Every time they got a problem in one area, of course they pay me more than anyone else on that, but they move me from one place to the other to, like, how you call it that, as a troubleshooter, to correct things in every place. Anything wrong, they send me over there.
Really?
Any problem management, that goes over there. And I did that until I retired.
So did you like doing that?
Yeah, it was a good job. Relation with people and everything. And I was independent.
Right.
You know, the key thing is independent. You know.
What did your wife do while you were in the service?
Home, take care of Ralph.
So.
She was a teacher in Cuba.
Oh, was she?
And over here she was an assistant, not assistant teacher substitute.
Oh. Okay.
But she couldn't get a permanent job because we moved from one place to the other place. 2 years over here, 2 years over there, 2 years over there. No.
Right.
You cannot get a definite job any place. Besides that, no company give a job to the most of the American wife because they know they're going to be traveling. They'll be 2 years over here when she's already know the job and is doing a good performance, boom. And she got to go with the husband. You know,
So, is your wife from Cuba also?
yeah. So Ralph too.
So that was where he was born?
Yeah.
And so he moved to Mexico with you and then?
No. He never went to Mexico with me.
You just did that on your own?
Yeah. I couldn't take my family because it was illegal what I did when I left Cuba.
Really? Why did you go to Mexico first?
Because I couldn't go back to the United States. It would be too... The Castro government got more, they were watching more the people who go to the United States than people that go to Mexico. When I leave Cuba, I didn't leave as like I was in Cuba, the military man. Of course, I was a teacher, but in education, but I didn't exercise teaching at all.
Right.
I was teaching in the military academy, a professor in military, but not in civilian. And my post, my passport indicated teachers elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And military service, none. That was not true. You know, a lot of things. Any connection with prior government? None. I was part of the other government. Yeah.
So you really just wanted to get out because of the government?
In Cuba, there was the right hand of the main general in Cuba, beside Batista. And my duty was the security of every time the president moved from the presidential palace to Colombia, to another place called Cukini, which is like Camp Davis, but it was Cukini in Cuba. The name of that place was Cukini. And that's it. I was in charge of the security.
And so did you still do that when Castro took over, or was he in power like all of your time that you served?
No, I couldn't take with Castro.
So is that why you left, because
Right.
he came into power?
Because I was persecuted. Castro wouldn't trust me at all.
Really? So then you went to Mexico, and then you went to Miami, and then did your family come over after that
Not to Mexico, to Miami.
to Miami? So is there anything else that you'd like to add about your time in the service or your time in Vietnam?
No, exactly.
Okay, well thank you very much
Okay, you're welcome.
for your time.